There's levels to the shit.
Yo, what's going on? I cut the thing quickly because I just wanted to get into this. I wanted to fly into this one today.
I was thinking I didn't hear no intro. It was just like, pow!
Listen, today, obviously, the mass fallout from the flipping Euros. Yeah, it's alive and it's kicking. And yeah, all I can say is, yeah, it's peak. It's peak for a lot of people of color.
No, bro, just say it
Obviously,
like it is,
mostly
bro.
peak for the man who took the pens, but hey.
No, it's not even peak for them. It's BS. Like, people want to go into and talk about all of the technicalities and blah, 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 blah. Like, it's a tournament. Penalties happen. People miss penalties. Cool.
Mhm.
But
100%.
the deeper problem that we've got is the fact that these players they're English when they're doing well, and they're foreigners when they've made mistakes or whatever. Not that they've made any mistakes. It's that, listen, I would love to see some of these guys at 19 take a penalty in the Euros in front of 60,000 people
It's not no small thing.
to bring it home for your country. And listen, I'm not in any way celebrating failure, because I think they have to do better next time.
Who?
Like the guys that took their pens, they've got to just go home and practice those.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they got to come back stronger, because it's
100%.
unacceptable. But at the same, what's also unacceptable is the way they're treated. And like, one of my pals actually said something really important in one of our WhatsApp groups, and he was just like, these players now need to just start playing for the countries of their mothers and fathers. And I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
You agree, but you have to remember, we played sports. You played to a higher level than I did, but regardless of that, I was super competitive. And at the same time, you want to stand the best chance of competing and winning the biggest prizes. Now, unfortunately, a lot of these mans, if they were playing for their mother countries, they're not competing for them top prizes. And that's what it boils down to. That level of competition, that level of aspiration is what they all want to achieve. So it's easier said than done at the end of the day. I hear that.
I see your point, but let's take Ghana, for instance, or Nigeria, for instance, right? Yeah. It's just those two countries, right? Out of everything else, right? What if our youngsters that are coming through now and are on the scene now, what if they all switch their allegiance to those countries? Are you telling me that those countries are not going to be in a major final?
Legit, you're missing out another couple countries though.
Yeah, of course.
Because Jamaica, their team would be lit.
It would be stacked. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I purposely didn't mention them, because I was like, let's just take two countries, for instance, just two. Ghana and Nigeria. You take those two countries and you say all the youngsters that we've got floating around in and around the England team that's come through certain levels, like, you know, under 21s, etc. If they just said, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to go and play for, you know, like Iwobi. Like Iwobi
as well. And what's his name? Flipping, you'd have one who played at Crystal Palace with him, Balassi.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Like, to be honest, and it's all great. We all want to get behind England because, bro, we live here. Our kids are born here, right? This is our home. We call this place home. And if the national team is playing, you want to get behind the national team. And it's like, there's a part of it, you know, you just want to be involved because you want to show your support as well, because this is your home. You call this your home. But these people like to always remind us that we're just not welcome. And that's what fucks me up about the situation. And that's what leads me to then say, you know what, if that's the case, I'll tell you what, my kids, right, and all future generations who have like come from first generation immigrants, we just won't play for here. We'll go and play for whatever country it is. We be treated like kings in our own country rather than be treated as second-class citizens in the countries of some of these people's births. Listen, Saka and them, man, they're born here. They're English.
Yeah.
They don't deserve to be treated like that. They are born here. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Well, British or whatever you want to call it, because there's it gets a bit complicated when you talk about ethnicities and stuff. You know, white folks are Anglo-Saxon, and you know, I'm not even sure what labels to throw at us, but yeah, it's a matter, bro. I think it's just one of them ones where I'm just like, I've had enough, and this is why, like, throughout the whole tournament, I didn't really support them from as a whole. I supported the black players, and I'm gonna say that with my chest, because when Sterling scored, I put Sterling up to celebrate him because I'm happy for him, because I knew at the back of my mind, I always know if it goes left, boy,
he's a scapegoat.
It's on top. It's on top, and it's the same with Belgium. You know, like they just like Lukaku had this same problem. I remember discussing it with one of my German clients. No, he was Dutch. A couple years ago, about 2 years ago. About how they treat him. If when he scores and he's doing well, he's one of them. If anything goes left, he's the African Belgian player, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's how they treat him in Belgium. And I'm just for the life of me, people like Lukaku, bro, who is a bad boy striker. I don't even know how many goals he scored last season. Right? Why do they still play for these countries that just try and mug them off?
We know. I just told you why. I just told you why.
For me, that Kof, I can't even recognize that. The reason why I can't recognize that is because deep down, like, I would rather go where I'm celebrated. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, every time I'm gonna go where I'm celebrated every time. And this is what these people need to realize. They will be celebrated in those countries of, you understand what I'm trying to say? They have a right to wear the shirts, because if they're born in that country, they have a right to wear that shirt. But if this is the treatment that they're gonna get, dip, and you don't hold your thing. Go get your people.
The thing is, but you know the rules behind it. That's why England shag a lot of things, because what they'll do is, when they're like 18, or even like Jude Bellingham, for example, mad young, he was 17. They breed them young and made them have as soon as you have a proper international cap, you can't play for no other country. You can't play for no other country. These are the rules, yeah? That's why, like, the Jerome Boateng and Kevin Prince Boateng one is interesting, because I always forget what happened. I don't know if I think Kevin Prince played for Germany, like under 21s, but he never made his full debut, right? So that's why you see he was balling up for Ghana. So that's where it comes into like effect with the whole full international thing. So people like Saka, they did it early. Danny Welbeck, they did it early. Raheem, they did it early. Zaha, they never bled him quick enough. Otherwise, Zaha would be in this England setup. But he was like, "Nah, I'm playing for Ivory Coast." Is it Ivory Coast? Yeah, Ivory Coast.
But surely they can switch their
Congo,
allegiance.
pardon me.
They can switch their allegiance now. They can.
You can't. Who?
So I'm talking
Zaha and them, man.
I'm talking about like people like Jude, who's still 17. And
No. He's made his full international. He was just playing the Euros, bro. He can't go nowhere. This is what they do. They tie them up.
How is that even a rule?
Hey,
that's not even a rule. Like, how are you telling me
people
that?
Can poach, innit? Listen, think about it. If that was true, America would never have a team. France's team would be decimated. Like, France is who? Even to some extent, people like even Spain, because Spain have even Brazilians in their team, for example, and Portuguese man. Switzerland had bare Portuguese man. Flipping Italy had 2 Brazilians on their team as well. So it's like
it's wild. It's wild. And this is my argument against it. It's just like, so what? Let's say Jude never gets selected again. He's got to sit there.
Yeah. No, exactly that.
Life,
exactly that.
And just be like, yeah, okay, cool. And then when he just, oh yeah, I retired from international football. You didn't even get on the fucking stage. Like, it's as simple as that. And that would be that'd be really sad for someone. But I think from early, these guys their parents need to get onto them and just say. But then it's difficult. You know, it is difficult, and you are right. It is difficult. I'm thinking about, you know, these countries like a Jamaica under 21s and all that kind of stuff. It's just, and this is one of the points I raised to my guy when he did mention it. I said the level of coaching and the facilities that you're getting at from that on this, you know, that's from 16, all them ages up to 21 is not the same, and you're not getting as many games as well, because they, you know, the European Championships is a big thing every 2 years, like the under 21s play as well. So, and there's all sorts of different championships and different like little things that they all play in. So they get a lot of game time. They get well looked after. They got proper coaches. You know, I'm not saying these other countries don't have that, but like the England setup itself is levels above, you know, what they're going to get in other places. And I can see that because these guys are looking at longevity as well, in terms of like they want to play in the Premier League, or they want to play in the top leagues across Europe or whatever. So it's a tough one. It's a sticky situation for them to be in. But
hold on. Yeah. So gone, bro.
Yeah, man. So it's just Mazzelines. I don't know.
It is a Mazzelines.
It is, but what can you do or say? Hold on one second, your jacket. Ooh. It's alright. It's alright. Sorry, it's passing a message her jacket. That's all.
Yeah, of course. You know, the worst thing is, it's like I'll be climbing on the chairs and try, like when calls are going on and all sorts, just to not be seen, bro. Don't get twisted. The maddest thing, before we got this place, like we had an option of getting a place where there was like a space for an office, and kind of just passed on it because didn't fancy taking like just the entrance to the house wasn't really my thing, and was like, nah, like had to. To get to the garden, I had to go downstairs, like, to get to my garden. Whereas, like, where we are now, like, I've got, you know, I can just walk straight out and get into my garden. No stairs, no nothing. I made that decision. And it obviously this is a much bigger place. I thought, you know what, cool. But the pandemic hit, and we were like, yikes. We need that office space, man. You just need it, because whether you're
little bit of
yeah. You just need a dedicated spot, because I wanted a dedicated spot for like the whole music thing as well. But that's in process, man. That's in the works. That is in the works. Bro, you know, ultimately what I would like is to have one of them, you know, like box spark containers in my backyard. Facts. That's the ultimate.
You need to move to a big village with big garden space, man.
That's the ultimate, and that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at even more like bang for your buck when you're looking at like getting a place, because you stay in London, it's overpriced. You're on top of everyone. It's one of them ones where like I want my kids or like even my dog to be able to run around in the garden, and I know that they're safe. They got space. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. Like
an old man.
Nah, bro. It's not even. The pandemic made me realize how much I appreciate space and not being. When you're in the city, and you know, if you grow up as a, you know, in the city, London, you grow up in the blocks and that long. Like, not that my childhood wasn't dope, but I've gone away from that whole apartment flat type space. I want room. I want room to maneuver. And that's the idea in my mind. My mind is like container, build a foundation for it, because I'm a G like that. Raise it off the floor.
Suspended in the air.
Yeah, bro, a whole foundation where it's like, you know, because what happens if you put it on the grass, the surface underneath kind of gets ruined. You're gonna get termites, all that kind of stuff. So I've already thought this fit through. I don't know, I sound like a madman, but I'm talking about building.
No. I did that with my little pool, and it mashed up the garden. And that was just a pool.
There you go. So I'm looking at like a proper concrete base for it, keys, generator, so it's not winding up anyone. I get in there, bruv, it's like you can come over, we could do podcasts in there. You know, it's like that space. It's the space.
Jeez,
You know
get
what I
that
mean?
ray running, innit?
Straight up, bro. Like, you
People
listen.
camp.
When you know what you want, it's easier to get it. When you have a clear picture, you know, it's like the levels thing. You know exactly what the vision is for levels, so it's easier to achieve that vision because you know what, go on. You know what I mean? When things don't go the way you want it to go, you're like, nah, this isn't it. This what we want is this.
I think that's one of the reasons actually. Well, I don't know. Hannah's running a bit late. One of the things I want to talk to Hannah about because her journey is very interesting. From the things I've heard through friends and a couple of things I've read, she isn't from London. She was from up north somewhere, I think, and she was just working cleaning, and then she just grafted her way all the way to the top. Well, not all the way, almost to the top, but she's quite high up in her position, and it's just interesting just to hear, especially from a woman like herself. In fact, yeah, a woman like herself in what is going to be considered such a male dominant kind of field, which is sports or sports clothing, just to hear what all of that entailed, because it just sounds like some minefields she had to dodge, all of this stuff as well. So hopefully she can join us in the stream and we can get some dope information from Hannah.
Oh, it's good.
As to
it's
the
good.
journey. But
Be interesting to find out all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, I think during the pandemic as well, a lot of people realize how much you say you realize how much you value space. I think a lot of people, as we're coming out of it back into reality, a lot of people realize how much time they spent doing things they really just don't like. And then when I say that, I mean is literally the work that they do. It's because, and then realize how precious your time is. And I was talking to somebody who got him over for my stepdaughter's birthday. She was corporate, she said, and then all of a sudden she had her kids, and then she was like, "Nah, this is too much. I'm gonna start up a what's it called? A business." And her business is to hire out little teepees for kids and birthday parties, and she seems like she's making a decent living out of it. But all she does is she'll go to the yards, set up the teepees, probably take about half hour, dip. She can go home, be with her kids,
come back,
all of this stuff, and then 1-2 days, however long they want it for, go back, pick it up, boom, done. And on the day she came to, I think she did 2 or 3 other drops beforehand. Swift, and she was like, I never thought like going from corporate to just being self-employed and you had to hustle. Obviously, that's the thing that scares a lot of people is the hustle. But it was admirable just to hear her talk. And how much you start to realize, like, do what you want to do at the end of the day, make the positive footprints in where you want to come. And I think there's obviously, in light of all these racists, people want to bring too much negativity. We ain't about that life, man. That's why I said to you, what else can people really expect from all of this stuff?
You listen. And you're right. It is a big ask for the group of people that genuinely go to these football matches, because I work with these people on a day-to-day basis, like, and sometimes it's even difficult to have conversations with certain individuals because they don't really understand where I'm coming from, because the average person that I'm talking to, they're not exactly well traveled. They don't have the focus. And you know what it is? It's also like I feel like I'm trying to make excuses for these people, but at the same time, they're making these choices because I find it difficult to understand that people over the age of 30 do not understand what comes out of their mouth and the impact that it has on other people. That's where I come a little bit stuck, because I'm like, you could say before 30, but then again, when you're in a group of people, and what people like to do in this day and age is group up. And when you're in a group and they all think the same thing, not a lot of people. yeah, not a lot of people want to step away from the group and be like, actually, I don't think that. Whereas where I come from, I've been taught to always think for yourself, you know. And what you're getting is it's like a herd mentality, like it's
Yeah.
just everybody
But
being.
the thing is, a lot of people have a lot more bravery these days because of Twitter and things and platforms like that, where you can hide behind your keyboard. You
Oh
get me?
yeah,
And hide
so I
behind
think
the words online, so
I
people
think
feel a lot braver.
I think someone put on there's some petition going around that you have to get validated ID for, they're trying to get that set up for social media, but even then I don't even know. You put someone, it's like they've opened up a can of worms. You put someone behind a phone and people seem to come alive because they
Yeah.
can't say what they really want to say. I believe in free speech. I don't have a problem with them saying what they're saying, because if that's genuinely your opinion, that's cool. Like, that is absolutely cool. And I've said what I feel should be done in terms of the players and that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But
Yeah.
if that's genuinely your opinion, that's okay. And you want to say, I think they should say it. However, have a conversation about it. Don't make those assumptions based off, that it's like a distant thing. Like, it's like you've never really spoken to one of us. People that look like you, people that look like me. They've never had a conversation with us, right? When you speak to these people, sometimes it's like I had a guy recently, I think they never really understand our culture. They ultimately have these, and I say they because I don't want to say they, because I know, come on, like, what I mean, my partner and that, and my, parts of my family. It sounds like I'm being a little bit, and that's not what I'm doing. These individuals that behave in a certain type of way, when you actually sit down and you talk to one of them, their view of us as a culture is so off. It's sideways, bro. Like, genuinely. Like, they don't believe that it's like me and you, we have families. We're family men, right? You know what I'm trying to say? They don't believe that we do these kind of things. They genuinely listen to the stereotypes. And I think that's what people need to understand, the perspective of some of these people. Like, they don't see us as normal.
We're not. We're not, though. We're not normal. We're different.
Well, we are. Like, at the end of the day, we breathe the same air, okay? We're interested in similar things, like at the base of it all. We all want, we're all family people. We all have families. We all like going out and, what I mean, being social. Like, these are the kind of basic things that I almost sometimes don't understand. That they feel like we don't do.
But do you know what it is, though? Like, for example, on my Instagram today, the stories are just full of deliberately triggering quotes and what's it called, posts that people have actually just put out. One of them was an Australian newspaper which said three black English players, or
Yeah,
whatever
but
it was.
the thing is, you got to be careful with those, because I feel like people can, if you got Photoshop, you can slap up some propaganda in minutes.
No.
Right?
That was an actual news feed. That was an actual news feed. There was no propaganda, bruv. It was the actual news feed from the Australian thing. I promise you, it was not propaganda. Like,
listen, I'm just quite cautious about, like, I don't let myself get triggered online. That's what it is.
No. But if these are pop-ups which are coming through like various news sources around the world, and you just Google Euro 2020 final, Australia, yeah, you literally see the headlines. So that it's a lot of subliminal or low-key conditioning, which over time is what triggers people to think a certain way. Is over time, when I'm walking down the road or you're walking down the road, and Betty is just crossed the road in front of us, she crossed in front of us, she's gonna double check and then drapes her bag in front of her, because she's read in the newspapers that supposedly black guys are 10 times more likely to flip and rob you than a white guy.
And that's why, and see, this is the thing. When it all kicked off, right, and I had a word with white people that were close to me, I explained all of this. I said, you don't know what it's like to deliberately cross the road so you don't, so the white lady doesn't feel uncomfortable.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
I
We
take
see it from
myself.
miles off.
Yeah, I listen. If there's a white woman walking towards me, I am dipping that way. I'm gone because I do not want this woman. And why? Tell me why I should cross the road, right?
Mhm.
Tell me why I should have to cross the road. But I have to cross the road because, right, even though I don't want to and I shouldn't have to, I cross the road to allow you to feel comfortable, right?
You got
Because
to go.
yeah, because you've got that stereotype that I might steal something from you, because clearly all of us do that. We all do that. That's what we're born to do. We've come here to steal. And not being funny enough in, you know, Essex style, not being funny enough in, we're the ones that's been stolen from. Like we've been robbed, right? But somehow it's been flipped on us to say that we're going to be robbing from them.
Yeah,
I think
no, because we have every right to. They know we have every right to. That's why it's been flipped.
it's subconsciously they're like, boy, we've taken a lot from these people, you know.
Hold on, do you not remember when the Brexit vote happened, right? And there was oh, you probably not. There was a caricature in either like the Times or something like that. Basically, you had the PM who was on the border of like Dover, it was a cliff, and you had an immigrant in the sea. And basically, they're saying, "Oh no, we're not going to allow you in because we're afraid that you'll take everything that we stole from you back." That was the caricature, and that's genuinely the perception that is had.
You know what? And what I see in some parts of our society is that it goes a little bit. Some people start to recognize, and you get these woke types, and they feel like they have to do everything in their power. And I'm just like, no, this is where you people like you fuck up. You fuck up because it's like you then start treating us like pets. Like we can't do this for ourselves. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like we're not asking to be treated like pets. We're not asking to be given jobs. Like we're not asking for all of that. All we're asking for is to be treated equally. We're not asking to be thrusted into the stratosphere. That's not what we're asking for. Because any sort of black person with any kind of pride is a grafter, and I know that. We all know that deep down. We go getting type of people, even though we've been labeled X, Y, Z. Right? Just give us the opportunities. Like make it fair, equal opportunity. I believe in that, and then let us flourish. Leave us alone to just flourish. Don't be thrusting me. I remember like a couple of years back, a pal saying to me, "Oh, you know what? You should join the Met. You know they need black officers, and you know you'll get it." I'm like, nah. People forget something like the Met Police, right? Even though like that was never going to happen. Like I dislike the police and what they stand for with a passion, right? But like an organization like the police doesn't mean that I don't still have a level of respect for them, because the job itself is needed. I just feel like the attitudes and the culture within the police needs to change. However, you can't just be putting someone in a position because they're black or Asian or Chinese or something like that. You need the right people in that position. There could be a white officer that's much more capable than the Asian person, but you're going to deny that white officer the job. Okay, that white person the job because you want to be seen as diverse. See, that kind of bullshit just winds me up. It's just dumb thinking. It's stupid thinking. That's
But
what I'm trying to say.
the laws which have been established, and they feel they have to adhere.
Yeah, everybody seems to be hitting quotas now. It's like, yeah, we have to have a certain amount of, and I'm like, okay,
Of course
okay,
they do, because
okay.
especially with what happened last year with George Floyd and the other killings, etc. Like worldwide. Again, this was another the thing which was here, which I talked to her shortly after a lot of this was happening, and she was telling me about how she's champion or spearheading the change in Adidas, for more diversity, more awareness of these things. She was describing that, and I wanted to actually ask her some questions. Like, but genuinely, how do you feel about that? Do you think it's a case of companies are realizing maybe they have been holding people of color back, so we're just gonna slap 5, 10 people in significant positions and hope that kind of makes
You know what? I'm going to ask you this question because I know you come from like a similar background and similar makeup to me. Have you ever felt like there was a company that was holding you back? Do you think that thing that
I put it out there, and no, should I name and shame? I won't name and shame. I won't name and shame. But for those who are watching, or ones who will be watching, who know me, my very first hospital was that. Imagine I started in October 2010. Just a week before me, there was another girl that started, Asian girl. Same month, so second week of October 2010. And just earlier that summer, about 3 or 4 girls also started. We're all technically part of the same kind of induction group, yeah? Long story, we signed a specific contract which says after 18 months, it's called a link grade. After 18 months, you go from what we call a band 5 in the NHS to a band 6. Automatically, you have to just do some kind of work and you automatically go there. Check it. Me and this one brother, black guy, who started after me, we were going to do an x-ray, and by accident, something fell on the floor and we ran over this thing. It was jokes. We were butting up, yeah. It was like, oh crap, we're gonna be in trouble. But it's nothing major. Long story short, they held that against us for years.
wow.
Years. Imagine after 18 months, all these girls, the one Asian girl anyway, I say she was blonde hair, blue eyes really underneath it. She wasn't really Asian. So they all managed to get their link grade. But me and this brother, guess where we were? Nowhere to be seen. I was exiled, or so they thought, to do some next imaging called nuclear medicine. And in that hospital, it was well known that if you do nuclear medicine, or if they shaft you there, they don't really like you. They don't really care. Not knowing that actually helped me actually move on. So that's neither here or there. This brother, the other guy, his name's James. He was so good at his job, and he wanted to progress. He used to stay back after work all the time, perfecting how to do ultrasounds and all of this stuff. Come to his interview. Long story short, they really didn't want him to get it, so somebody come in and said some next thing to the person interviewing him. Next thing you know, she says we have to stop this interview, and walks out, and he doesn't get the job. Yeah.
Wow.
Now this brother is lead superintendent in the hospital down the road from me. He was amazing, and now he's getting his flowers. But that was a degree of institutional racism, which unfortunately, literally only the blacks and the Asians there saw. And when I left, and people were like, "Oh, why are you leaving?" I said, "This place is racist," and it was like, "Oh my God, you can't say that." I'm like, "No, it's very evident it's racist." The only person who didn't experience it was that chick, because she was actually blonde hair, blue eyes. The way she was acting, breading off everybody, this, that, the other. Whereas I'm unapologetically black. James is a Christian, proper church boy, but he's yard at the same time. And take no business. We're the ones who are floundering. Why? Floundering, sorry. Why? We're just as skilled as you guys. We started at the same time as you guys, so give me a good reason. Oh, you guys ran over this thing and you broke it. What? So people can't break things now? So I've definitely experienced it, and that's NHS I'm talking about.
Listen,
So, degree of racism where I was anyway. I'm not gonna say across all NHS hospitals. Yeah, it's there.
I don't. You know what? I don't. I can't say that I've experienced the same thing. I can't say that in the companies that I've worked in over the last, God knows, and to be fair, I've been self-employed for, boy, I've been self-employed for the last almost 10 years now.
For that
But
freedom.
Straight up, it's nice. So like my attitude is just different. I wake up in the morning with the I don't care attitude. Like, you can't dip. Oh, okay, say no more. It is what it is. And the freedom that comes with being self-employed, I just don't think I'll give up again. I don't think I'll give it up unless it's a really good situation and I know, and I'll do my research. But bro, like, I've seen some things. I wouldn't say they've held me back because I've got a mentality of, if you ask Juju what kind of player I was, listen, I'm getting to the basket. See that basket? I'm getting there. Like, you're not stopped. You better pull. You better. Even if you headlock me, I'm still getting there. Like, you're gonna have to foul me. Like, you have no choice. I'm getting to the basket every time, and that's my mentality in life. You cannot stop me. Like, you're just not gonna stop me. And with that bullish mentality, I think I've actually come through some situations where maybe I've not noticed, but as I've gotten older, I start to realize a little bit more because I think my eyes are a little bit more open to certain things now. And I see stuff like, even like with the company that I currently like sub for, like, I see man come in and go straight onto certain things, and then they're trying to hold back my P's, and like, and then it took a while because it's just like, I'm different. Listen, you see that sucking dick business, like how that you said that. I'm gonna be real blunt about it. Like you said, that Asian girl was, that kiss ass nonsense. Like, let's tone it down. That kiss ass nonsense where you're trying to be everyone's friend. Here's what you can't do. You can't be liked by everybody. So how about just be yourself, okay? And if they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. Go home and be with your family regardless. It is what it is, right? And that's with that bullish nature and me just always just being myself. I've managed to get myself in situations or just get to my goals all the time and not worry really about some of the strife. And I think as a people, and obviously I know today, like, it's been a conversation about the people, and it is what it is. Sometimes you need to. I think we need to adapt more of that mentality. You cannot stop us. You can't stop us from being. And even with that being said, I'm now gonna go back and even like maybe take back my comment about them playing for their. I feel what these players need to do is come back and just show you. You can't take this from me. We are gonna keep everyone out of this team because we're gonna be levels above them and we're gonna do greatness. And that's really what we should be doing. That's what we should actually be focusing on. It's like, when you really deep it, it's just like, you know what? F them. They don't want to support us? Cool.
Do you know what that's called?
Cool.
Do you know what it's called?
What?
Chris Browning.
Chris Browning. Wheezy. Hey, listen. I said it on the radio the other day. I said it and I remember the missus hit me up like, babe, like, I said, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Yeah. Like, I remember when I'd done this dance and this girl came up to me the night before I did my show, and she was like, I was playing Chris Brown, and she was like, oh, he's a woman beater. I said, boy, me no business. This is Chris Breezy. This is Chris Breezy. Like, his personal life is his personal life.
Yeah, separate the man from the music.
Separate the man from the music. You lot out here trying to tear the man down. Go about your business. You know what I mean? In this day and age where we have, and no one's willing to talk. No one's willing to talk. I'm just like, as far as I'm concerned, no, you should not hit women. Like, and I'm saying that time and time again. Like, you should not put your hands on a woman. However,
later, that man said, however, like that.
However, yeah, if women want to put their hands on men, I do understand that there's some men out there that can't even stand a man flicking them or stepping on their shoe. Okay, what do you think is going to happen to you if you put your hands in this guy's face? Okay, where he's not been raised like like other men, where it's, and I'm not condoning that behavior. I'm not. I'm just saying that is a human being. You punch him in the face or you slap him in the face, and you expect, and he doesn't react. It's not a human. It's not human for him not to react. It's human for him to lose his shit. Stop trying to normalize being abused and walking the other way. It's not normal. It takes a special type of person to do that, right? So if women are out there putting their hands on men and you hold one back, well, think about your actions. He now has to deal with that. Like if he gets arrested, whatever, that, listen, that's all on him. And that's one of the reasons why you don't do it, because we are physically stronger, even though they're trying to talk about some bullshit. Like, bro, there's no girl out there that can beat me up.
Man, you say that, yeah. You never know. There might be one wedge bodybuilder who just uppercut.
You know, unless she's like pro fighter levels, and even
boxer,
then,
yeah. Ronda Rousey? She'll take you, bro.
Bruv, even then, Ronda, come through, Ronda, come through. That's what I'm saying.
Challenges to women out here. What's
wrong
with
but it's not even a challenge. It's just like we need to get rid of that bullshit. Men are physically stronger than women. It's quite simple. Like relationships, you shouldn't be putting blows on people regardless. But I'm trying to say from the standpoint of like some men, if you put your hands on some of these guys, they're gonna, like, you know, them road guys that are wearing three trousers and Air Max
and TNs.
and their TNs, like he smokes weed all day. Big man, he's gonna clap you. Like, so don't clap him. Like, don't do it. Whereas people like me,
he just draw for the tool, bro. He won't even clap you.
He might even do something even worse. And that's what I'm saying. Like, have the conversation where it's sensible. Don't advise people to do that kind of stuff. But like, I'm definitely against like domestic violence and people doing crazy stuff like that. That's not right. That's not okay. Out of the blue, just tearing up a woman for no reason. Like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? Even, and I do understand. Even if like someone, I'm the sort of guy. If a woman hits me in the face, I'm gonna have to just keep it moving because
I'll run, bro.
No, but I understand.
Run the other way.
I understand that a guy as big as me, even a quarter of my strength is devastating. You know, like even just a quarter, and that's not me trying to big myself. It's just not. You don't do that. You should have the strength to. My argument is that some people don't have the strength to. You understand what I'm trying to say?
A lot of people. That's why there's so much domestic abuse cases.
Yeah, bro, it's Mazzelines. It is Mazzelines. But anyway, we've gone off topic.
As always.
But I know some people might even take that as me defending Chris Brown. I'm defending his music. I'm not defending whatever happens in his personal life.
That's disclaimer. Neither of us defend Chris Brown. We just saying his music is undeniable. That's it.
It's as simple as that. And if I'm in a space where I'm gonna play his music. Am I supporting his personal life? No, I don't care. It's about his personal life. To be honest, it's got nothing to do with me.
Do you want to know what the maddest thing is? Yeah. People say, "Oh, you saying this about Chris Brown? You're agreeing with Chris Brown." As soon as everybody hears, "Young Mula, baby," people start singing. It's undeniable. And even these days, and then when they get to go crazy, I got what you. This is undeniable, bruv. And just watch out for the next one with Young Blue. Chris Brown is all over the gaff, and he's just ruining dances with his hooks. He's the R&B Nate Dogg, and then he can lead his own shit. Again, I wanted to go back to back with you. Anyway, I wanted you to just play Usher because I wanted to order Chris Brown.
Bro, like genuinely, Usher. Like I think, and I said this already. I think Chris Brown's got more hits. Usher's got some classics, like undeniable. But Chris is just consistently talented, man. Like, and I'm not saying Usher isn't. I just feel like he paved the way, and Chris came in a time where there's social media, and he went over to a completely different space after the scene shunned him almost. He went to a different space. He's all up in Ibiza doing all sorts of BPMs, right? And he's now slid back in, and I'm just like, when someone's that talented, it's very difficult to try and cancel them, and it will take a lot to cancel him. You know,
I don't think you can now.
It'll take a lot. It will take a lot to cancel him.
Unless he went to prison. I don't think.
Even then, I think in this day and age, that will add more
What,
to
he's
his
doing a
stock.
Vibes Cartel, yeah?
Yeah, that would definitely add more to his stock. I've seen
Vibes
the
is
way
all
some
in prison. Vibes is all in prison, and he still managed to release tunes like Fever, you know? Fever! Why everybody?
man, like
Vibes Cartel, different, bro.
bruv, he's the guy, bruv. He took the mantle and ran with it.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've been literally going back to. I find myself lately less drawn to like hip hop, but more drawn to like an Afrobeat dancehall thing. It's really mad. Really mad. Like lately, it's like every time I get on the decks, it's like we're going to that genre. It's calling my name, bro. Like it's calling my name. So I'm just like,
the thing is, you ain't even touched Amapiano properly yet. I'm telling you, Amapiano speaks to the soul different, bruv.
And you know what it is?
Call it other music.
I'm gonna leave that one for proper raving. When we get an opportunity to go and do I'm gonna leave that one. I'm gonna experience it from like a standpoint of me not playing it, but me actually really trying to enjoy it, being someone else playing it to me, kind of thing. I really want to enjoy it from that point. Yeah. I was all up in that.
Did you like the tribal elements that will come in more into what before it proper fizzled out? Like when early days Black Coffee.
I did indeed.
So imagine that, but their bass lines and Amapiano and some of the drum hits are just all over the place. And that's what gets you. Like you can hear and you're just like, what is this? It's just all over the place. It's just hitting you like.
Listen, it's something that I need to properly explore because it's jumping and I want to experience it. But like when I'm actually DJing itself, like it's dancehall and Afro for me. I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely dancehall.
I got a pal from America. Well, I went to school with him, reconnected with him recently, and he's looking to. He started a record label and a talent scouting thing, purely based on mostly the Afrobeat kind of vibe, the Afro swing kind of vibe. And he's like, I'm telling you, because he's mainly based out in America. He's like, I'm telling you, out here, it's gonna take off. It's gonna take off. When I'm seeing Paul Pogba all spudding up Ronaldinho and Paulo Dybala all up in a club in Miami, and you're hearing Burna Boy banging in the background and people grooving, you're like, all right, this is what Afrobeats is saying out here, yeah? Because Davido is the only one who's been flying the flag out America for ages, Afrobeats. Boy, when I touch you.
What you're finding in America is this explosion. You know, like how now we're getting explosion because the children of immigrants are coming of age, right?
Yeah.
That is America's, and we spoke about this with Essence, right? And obviously didn't really think. And then now it's actually, when you think about it, it's those kids coming of age. Like the kids of first generation immigrants are now like, you know what? I'm feeling this. I'm not feeling whatever you're trying to sell me. I'm feeling like it's calling me. Like my culture's calling me. So that's where I'm gonna be. You know, and it's taking off. It's. I mean, I used to use BPM Supreme. However, oh man, I'm not even gonna slap them on the live. I'm not even gonna slap them on the live, but just know that me and BPM Supreme are no longer friends. But bro, it's just they're so slow. Like they're so slow with the releases. Like the releases are slow. Like if you're trying to, the thing is, they've got the system set up. They'll give you the various options. It's very easy to use. But they're also quite slow with the releases. I don't know why. They're so slow with the releases. Like certain songs, you're like
copyright clearances.
Maybe I don't know, but I don't have time to wait for that when I'm trying to get my sets together. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
To be
So,
honest, copyright clearances are getting so much worse and more annoying by the day.
but
By the day.
listen, they're supposed to be like a DJ streaming service. Like this,
Who?
this,
What? BP Supreme?
yeah, like this. That's what
Yeah,
they're there for. They're there for us to help them spread the word for these people. It's as simple as that.
it is.
But
But you have to remember, they all incur huge fees all the time for all of these
it's
things.
so long.
So I kind of understand it, but that's why I don't know what DJ City's doing so different. And that's another reason why I was pissed when SoundCloud was just you'll put up a mix and SoundCloud will done it after 2 hours.
Yeah, but that's
And
why
that's why Mixcloud's really succeeding.
Mixcloud's all right, but like it's just I can't flex with him again.
No, why?
To be honest, it's just them being them, really.
Yeah. I mean, they have to. Again, honestly, like the copyright clearances are just so peak now. Like every time you upload something onto Instagram, for example, right? Unless you're using the music feature on the story, your thing's getting taken down when it's clearly just a clip of you maybe just enjoying something. They'll take it down. They'll take it down instantly. In fact, not even that long ago on the Lev3ls YouTube, we're doing the competition for the Strawberries and Cream Festival this year. There were people who actually sent us the video that they wanted to submit. And then honestly, that 2-3 months ago, I think their management must have just been scouring just to see what videos they had out. They slapped us with a thingamajig, like a copyright, not a lawsuit, but one of them things that said you're breaching this copyright thing, and YouTube cautioned us, like formally cautioned the thing. I was like, hold on, I have an email trail of these man sending me this video, bruv. They said yes, you can use it. It says it right here. So it's getting peak now because people are just trying to pull their stuff everywhere and trying to make sure that it's revenue. They're trying to make sure they get that revenue stream.
Yeah, but this is where greed gets you in it. That's the problem. That's one of the problems with the music industry. This is where greed gets you, and it's so many people get stepped on while other people try to get hella dough. But that's a conversation for another stream, man.
100% what's it called? 23rd of July. We're still at what's it called, by the way? Book club.
Oh yikes! I
They're
forgot
gonna
about that.
be, yeah. I see you. I see.
Oh yeah, it's in my calendar. I'm sorry, bro.
Because you got Westwood next day.
The next day, Westwood. Hey, listen, it's jumping, my bro. Like seriously, the calls are going off the hook right now. The promoter hit me up the other day. He was just like, bro, like it's getting mad. Like people are dying for these tables, and like people are trying to buy the premium platinum, all this kind of. I'm like, bro, it's gonna be ball essential. Everybody's gonna try and floss out. The place has had like a refurb. I'm gonna done the dance, and I'm gonna collect my table and my bottle, and I'm just gonna vibe.
I honestly wish I could be there, man.
I'm gonna vibe. What are you doing that day?
My birthday 2 days before. That's why I'm doing the thing on the 23rd, and I think the missus just wants to spend the day with me on the 24th because it's a weekend, isn't it?
Of course. Yeah. Listen, we all know about spending time with the missus.
And when he speaks and says we need to spend time, fellas, don't argue. Just say yes, love.
Just listen. You know, when it comes around to spending quality time with your partner. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just say yes.
Yeah, just say yes,
yes.
man.
It's their way of telling you we don't spend enough time together.
Get that money though. Don't piss about it. Get that money. Make sure you get that money as well though. Don't be out here trying to, get that money.
Out here trying to ball with no balling money.
Yeah, get that money though. Like, make sure you get that money, bro. Like that has to, and you have to just explain it to the missus sometimes. I gotta get that money, but then I'm different because I'm self-employed. I'm a hustler. I'll be hustling,
Yep.
You know what I mean?
See, I kind of want to join the hustling life a little bit, but with Lev3ls, obviously.
Bro, like this, it's
Yeah.
so much. There's so much freedom, and there's so much more money that you can make.
Mm.
Like when you're
I can, I
self-employed.
can, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that because even with levels, if I pushed a lot more and if I had a bit more time to push,
Mm.
100%, 100%. Because with the events, for example,
Mm-hmm.
like the events could pop off. I just need to put a little bit more time into it. The videos that we're dropping, we just premiered one just an hour before we went live here.
Mm-hmm.
Was sick, and the reception generally has been sick for these videos.
Was it the one of Emily?
Amelia.
Amelia.
Really.
I'm so sorry.
We are. It's
So
called
sorry.
whatever name that you want. That Emily.
I'm so sorry.
Who?
It's Amelia.
Annalise.
Amelia.
Annalise.
Yes. The lady from Bristol, right?
Oh, sorry, Bath. She's from Bath. She's
Ah,
from Bath.
yes.
She's from Bath. Can't the man
Yes.
say.
You know what? I respect people that come from way out to just. You got to look. Listen, people like that. You got to really understand that, man. It's like leaving your home city to pursue something. It's mad.
Exciting. It's
People listen.
exhilarating.
Some people don't even want to go across the street, bro. So
That's true.
you know what I mean? Like,
Very true.
and that's one of the things that see people like that are more likely to succeed at things, you know, because they're willing to always leave the comfort zone and go in search of the treasure. And I read a book recently about that kind of stuff, and you know, I'm gonna give you another book to suggest.
What? Not the War of Art again?
That has to get read all the time, but you obviously, you know what I mean. You still ain't read it. But
Nah.
no, The Alchemist. I read The Alchemist, and I was just like, right, this book speaks a lot to artists, man. Like they got to go and get theirs. Definitely, if you get a chance, look up The Alchemist. And I know you're a man that.
Producer.
Huh?
I'm just thinking of the producer, The Alchemist.
Yeah, look into The Alchemist. It's actually really cool book, man. I was hesitant at first because I was like, oh, really? And then I actually started reading it. I thought, you know what? It makes a little bit of sense because, like, I can relate to it in life. Every time I've gone out of my comfort zone or I left something, I've always gone on to do better things and more money, better,
No.
you know, that better style of, better. What's the better living standard? Better way of life or whatever. Yeah. So you've always.
No, legit, I hear that, and I'm very much a firm believer of one door closes, another opens. I'm so much a believer of that. So
you gotta close the door
first.
Yeah,
no. You don't have to close the door. The door could get slammed in your face. You could get dashed out like flipping Jazzy Jeff. You might leave the door in various ways, but just when it closes, another opens, isn't it?
Trust.
Obviously, it's nice. It's nice when you can close the door yourself. It's nice. Or in fact, it's nice, but it's the most scary. Because if you're actively taking that decision, you know it's a massive decision. Because half the time it's either leaving something behind or big change in your life. So yeah.
Huge. Bro, 100%. I've been getting a lot of feedback lately about dancehall, man. Dancehall seems to be the thing.
Dancehall dying, man. What are you talking about? I'm joking. It's just to see your face drop.
Listen, we spoke about it on this stream before about the subcultures and stuff, man. Staying on top of all of the subcultures is so difficult. Like,
there's ones just creeping up everywhere constantly.
Like, staying on top of all of the subcultures is just mad. I feel like realistically, you just got to pick what vibrates with you the most and just do your thing. You know, do your thing. Like at the moment, we're obviously in that, you know, good music sphere, like staying on top of new music, new artists that, you know, expressing themselves. And like I said, I'm always out here trying to explore the Afrobeat and dancehall stage. I like picking the gems out of certain things because even with the Afrobeats type thing, I feel like even though it's not my background, I listen to some of the bits and I feel like you can still sniff the bullshit.
What do you mean?
Like in terms of like
thug music?
Yeah, in terms of like people are just. I'm just like, no, you're
Oh yeah.
you're trying to do too much there, and that doesn't really come off like you're being genuine or whatever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like I just listen. It's beats, bass, melody. I keep an eye out for it, and when it hits and it slaps my soul, it is what it is.
Do you want to know something? I think the golden era of what I feel the golden era of like bashment or dancehall, whatever you want to term it, was too short lived.
Nah, do you know
It
what?
was too short lived.
What's your idea of the golden era of dancehall?
Put it this way, when I used to work in office in Camden, right? There was this yard man who was on the corner of Camden Market, like on a side street next to a tattoo shop, yeah? He had the wickedest compilations ever. In fact, I think I still to this day have one of his CDs, which I actually will actively go out of my way to take out and pop in my car when I'm driving, because the rhythms were wild. The energy was wild. You were having everybody who ladies saw Movado, early Movado I'm talking about. Flipping, what's his name? Sean Paul, when Sean Paul was decent. What's his name? Marital, I think his name is the guys who made My Money, ha ha. My Money, them guys. Who else? Tanto and Devante. Whatever their name is, Mr. Vegas. The albums were crazy.
So, see what you're
And
talking
I'm
about
talking
is
about
like
mid 2000s to 2010. The bashment was on another planet, bruv. On another planet.
You know what? I agree, but I think it was for me. It was slightly fading then. If you
What?
So my era, like for me, where I think it was at its peakest of peaks, 98 to about 2004
Yeah, but you're a true yard boy. Like I'm just
was
an African who just clocked onto the thing.
go and look it up. David, that there's a rhythm. It's like it's called Dancehall 98, right? And it's actually the name of like an actual rhythm. You'll understand what I mean. Like
Was it one of those?
Yeah, so like before dancehall started taking themselves over 105 BPM, you had the 90s, the 90 to the 90 to the 98 BPM, and it was just like these are vibes. Because when you understand the culture, like the whole culture of like the music, how even how like men approach women, and like
It's a bit slower.
Yeah, how it's for me, you can't really do much when you're trying to dagger a girl at 118 BPM.
Clearly these man can.
Jumping out of trees and lighting things on fire, whatever. But take it back to like 98 to mid 2000s, and you had some rhythms, like some absolute rhythms. I'm just annoyed that I wasn't able to actually DJ at that time. I can't imagine what it must have felt like as a dancehall DJ at that time to just be doing bits.
Bruv, I honestly
I was in school, bruv, so I missed it all.
I would have killed to be like a hip hop DJ around then, because honestly, just thinking of the hip hop that come out in that time, 97, 98, 99. Bloody hell.
20 years ago. It seems like, listen, time flies, bro. 20 years ago. 20 plus years ago, man. Like, that's out here showing our age in that. But
Jeez, nah. I might have to, when we finish this, I might have to just do a little reload, innit?
Bruv, and this is what I said to you, like, as soon as we get these, I would love to get these events up and running. We spoke about them before, but if we get them up and running, because we know the DJs, we know the music, we know the people, because you got to think about our network and our age group. We can get the shit popping, man, but this guy Levels is doing too much. So once Levels has risen, once level has risen to stratosphere levels, I think you got to look into like properly throwing some time and effort at the events, because I think it's definitely worth it. We know it's worth it. You can't get me out of my house with no bullshit. You understand what I'm trying to say? I'm not interested in leaving the comfort of my fucking, my L shape. So
it might be more as sooner than you think, man. Don't worry. The feelers have been put out. It's just about saying, all right, guys, let's test this one, see what it's saying, and then if everybody likes it, then take off. You get me?
It's a mazza, straight up. All right then, brother. But
Indeed.
right about now, I need to go walk the dog. So
and I need to finish my food.
Yeah, I know you've been itching to finish that food still.
That was nice, man. I made some rice and peas yesterday. The girlfriend was like, "You making rice and peas?" I was like, yes. It's not that hard to make. These Jamaicans are basic, these Caribbean people are basic. I had to get out my customary shot. I had to.
You know what the worst thing is? I never ever get to my African brothers. I really don't. But I feel like you lot like firing shots.
Nah. I just like firing shots. It's just a bit funny for me, we love you guys, really, man. We love you guys for sure.
You lot don't love us, bruv. It was tribal wars back in the day. You lot let a lot of us go, boy. You pussy-ass.
Listen, you guys were disgruntled people. We just put you out your misery, innit? You're like, cool, if you guys want to go, you can go.
Bruv, it is what it is. It is what it is. I've got nothing to say on the matter. But yeah, my bro.
Yeah, I had to whip up some rice and peas real quick, man. I ain't had it in ages.
Why not? Get it crack-a-lacking.
Anyways, looks like Hannah didn't join us. Unfortunately, she couldn't get out of whatever she was doing. It'll be next time. It'll be next time for sure. But we missed last week anyway. We're back this week, so yeah, we're back next week. I can't remember who's back next week.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But
we'll tell you guys. Anyways, love.
All right, my bro.
Take it easy, man.
All right, man.
Cool.
Learn life. There's levels to the shit.